Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Monday, November the 16th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get into the room. And the room is open between 9 and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am live on the mic between those times. Okay, well, one excellent trade for me anyway, and I'm sure other people in the room took this one. Um, this was, just one second, please. All right, so CLVS. Now, if you weren't trading today and you're just seeing this stock chart for the first time, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Imagine you're being a shareholder of this stock, and it's a bio at on Friday sitting at $100, and then you wake up this morning and the stock is at 20. Well, it got all the way down to about $26, and the reason being is that it has something to do with it's a lung cancer drug, and I don't want to say that it failed, but it obviously whatever they released, the market did not like it, and I believe it's probably what I call a one-trick pony. It's probably the only thing it really has going for it. So obviously high hopes as it was bid way up here. Let's see what it was on the daily. Yeah, I mean, it was just sort of hanging in this area for the longest time. But anyway, you have to feel extremely sorry for anybody who was long this stock and then woke up. However, it does give us an opportunity. This is the pre. In fact, let me just show you. This is the pre-market right there. So of course, we all watched it in the pre-market, and this was my number one. Though I did say that I find the bios a little more difficult to play the bounce on because especially stock like this, where it's really the only product it's got, and you really don't know how much it's going to bounce, if it will bounce at all, as opposed to some of the retailers that we played last week. I mean, you look at a Nordstrom, JWN that we played on Friday and a couple before that. I mean, they're not going out of business. Nordstrom's not going into business. Yes, they had a bad quarter, but you could always assume that some buyers would step in. On this something like this, it's a little more tricky because you don't know. I mean, why is it going to bounce? I mean, other than just pure emotion and people like myself watching it and saying, okay, it just broke above 30, and that's where I took it. I took it at 30.79. Let me just see if I can. It wasn't easy though. I mean, yeah, that's close enough. Took it about right there, and I sold it in increments all the way up, 31.25, 32.18, and the last one at 34.81. So that was over $4 for that one. So that basically made my day. I mean, I didn't have a big amount because you just don't know. This thing could have just collapsed immediately back down through 30, and so I just I wasn't prepared to take a big amount, but nonetheless, I mean that's $4 on the last part that I had, so it worked out really well. And it just goes to show though, when you take a look at these things in the pre-market, that's why you really have to prepare on the pre-market. I mean, this had to be the number one that we were all looking at, and of course it was. Um, Let's see now. Fit. I took Fit. Before I do that though, I wanted just a word about our AI strategy channel. Um, there were four longs and two shorts here, and this was the one that really worked out well. And basically, what it's looking for is a bounce. I think generally speaking, a 5-day bounce, so it means the stock was probably down at least 5 days in a row, and then we're looking for a bounce off it. And I know that PRAA was really the star of it, but I think the alert, yeah, the alert was at, well, let me just show you where the alert was. So the alert was right here. PRA was at 33.99. And so right here, let me just see if I can just gotta get the symbol linking here. Okay, so on this candle is where the alert was. Now these are 15-minute candles. Let me just back this over here. So these are 15-minute candles, but at 33.99. And now In this particular strategy today, there was a 30-cent stop on all the ones that came in the strategy, and there were I guess there was one, two, three, four, five, six, seven in this strategy, and it's interesting because at one point five had triggered, and this was the only one that had worked. So it only had a 20% success, but the overall strategy was up because the other four got stopped out at 30 cents, but this one had run more than a dollar 20, I guess. So, it more than made up for the stops on the other one. Now, the interesting thing, of course, is that this was in theory, a hold for 90 minutes, but I would say that, you didn't have, there's really, you didn't have, you could have easily held it for longer. I mean, this might have got you out some, but you could have easily, probably, maybe at this level right here, because when I look at the profit on this, it says a profit of $1.71. You could have probably made more, 33.99, maybe not much more because we are talking 34.71, but maybe at least a dollar more on a portion of it because there was really no reason to get out other than, this is just a time stop. So this is just a guide, all right? I would absolutely obey the stops if you're stopped out of if the stop gets or if the stock turns into a losing trade, absolutely obey your stops. But as far as the time stops are concerned, if the stock is still trending up, yeah, maybe, at the time stop and it moves down a bit, maybe get out some. But I would have definitely, and unfortunately, I was not in this one. I was pretty probably wrapped up in the other one, the CVLS. But, so I did miss this one. But, that's just my recommendation is that on the time stop, if obviously if the stock is still moving up, there's no reason to get out just because it's saying that's the time stop. Now, the other one that I did do was the fit. It worked okay. I was very late on it. The fit alert was actually at 28.10, right down here. You can see it's still in a profitable position, but I got in this very late, 28.57. I think I took it over, yeah, the high right here. Took it right about here, 28.57, and I sold some at 28.73, and then on the way back down, basically it was a wash. And the other one that kind of blew was hot. Um, a nice recommendation by Real in the Room, right around this level here. I took the trade at 71.10. I think he was in a little bit earlier. I took the trade right about here, right there. But unfortunately, on this candle, it got me out. Actually, took it out at 70.99. Took a 11-cent loss on that. It was no post in the room. I did get back in here for a very quick scalp of about 15 cents, basically to recoup this loss here. But this really was a nice one if I just had a little more patience and held on. Now, the other one I want to talk about though is this one. And this one is turning into a very nice swing trade for me. Now, I left the room at about, I don't know, 20 minutes to 4 on Friday, and this was a swing trade that I took. I took it actually at 13.38. You're going to see why. Here it is on the daily. Look at this amazing gap that there is to potentially fill. Here's a level here maybe, and certainly to here and up to here. I'm not saying it's going to get there, but and Dan Merkin, our CEO, he was in it, and I think there were some other people in it. And so on Friday, I decided towards the end of the day, let me just look at a 30-minute chart here. Towards the end of the day, so right here, I took the trade at 13.38, got in, held it over the weekend, and I have sold some at 14.44. I posted that in the room, sold some at 14.44. And interesting, I didn't know this was going to happen, but this is going to be this is the Trade Ideas Trade of the Week. The email went out about I don't know, half an hour to an hour ago. So this is going to be the Trade Ideas Trade of the Week. And so I'm certainly going to hold it. I mean, what's not to like about this daily? I mean, might have a problem around 15 right here. But as I say, I've made over a dollar in this trade right now on a portion that I've sold. So I can afford to hold on. But this obviously has the potential to really move up here. Again, I'm not saying it's going to get back up to where it collapsed but certainly is a great looking chart right now. So that is one to absolutely keep an eye on. And these trades of the week, especially when a pattern looks like this, they're hard to ignore. All right, that's it for today. Let me just back this out. And again, here is our how to get into the room. It's the address. Again, rooms open between 9 and 4, and I'm on the mic live between those times. Admittedly, sometimes I take off at about 3:30, especially in the days like Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday when we have webinars, and I usually try to help the guys by answering questions. So I usually take off a little bit early so I can, quite frankly, get a little bit of a workout in, rest a little bit before the webinar. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope to see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye bye.